I'm back at the Sports Science Institute of South Africa, and to answer a very important question today, what is the right running shoe? I'm sure you're as confused as I am, so much out there. So who better to ask than Chris, the podiatrist, he's behind these doors, as well as Nick, he's a biomechanist, and the two of them are going to point me in the right direction, we hope.
Hello.
Good morning. Chris, again. Good. Nick. Chris, as a podiatrist and Nick as a biomechanist, how can you help me find the perfect shoe to run in?
Well, running is very simple. You only need one piece of equipment, is a good pair of shoes. And choosing the right shoe can make the difference between enjoying your running and breaking down with an injury.
So how will you help me choose the right shoe? What do you need to know from me in order to help me?
I need to know your height. I need to know your weight. Importantly, I need to know your shoe size. Also, very important is, have you injured yourself in the past? And this may be completely non-running related, but if you hurt a knee, if you hurt a foot, these are things that can surface again when you're running, so we want to take that into account as well.
So once you have my life history and my vitals, what happens next? What's the next step?
We're going to get you on the treadmill. I'm going to take some videos of you running, and we're going to analyze them, and I can show you a few little things that we look for when choosing a shoe. So let's do that now. Okay, so I now have your footage on the screen, and this is the front view over here. The first thing that we'll do is slow it down so we can actually see what's going on. And now the key thing that I'm looking for in this front image would be the alignment of your knees. So we can stop the video on a certain position, and what we'll do is we'll put a marker on the screen, in this case over your knee, and then I'll slowly progress the video so that see where your knee goes as you're going forward. What I'm looking for is that the knee stays in its range and direction of motion. So I see from this that it all looks good, so we move on to the next thing, and that is, do you run with your feet dead straight forward, or do you have an exaggerated angle over there like that? And looking at your feet over here, you have a very normal angle of gait, so nothing for us to worry about right there. The other thing we'd look at is something that we call the base of gait. Some people run sort of like a catwalk supermodel running, one foot in front of the other. Other people run with their feet very widely spread. So that's what we call the base of gait. That's also another thing that we'd look at. Again, in your case, nothing too interesting. You have a very normal gait, very normal base and angle of gait with a normal knee alignment. So now we move on. We're looking at the rear view. Start you up again. Look at you running again, slow it right down so we can see what's going on. And what I'm looking for over here is, where do you strike the ground? Are you a natural heel striker or a forefoot striker? Most of us are natural heel strikers, and you can see that you come through and you're hitting the ground exactly where we expected, the back right hand corner of the shoe. So, based on this analysis over here, I would say you're a pretty good candidate for a neutral shoe. Everything is within normal limits, normal ranges, and you should be fine in a traditional neutral shoe. So, as you can see, this is a valuable process and an important part of starting out running. Of course, to take it to the next level, especially here at the Sports Science Institute, we have Dr. Nick Tam, who is our biomechanics expert, and he'll be able to give you a lot more information about the in-depth mechanics of a running shoe.
So Rob, shall we go to the lab and I'll introduce you to the Vicon technology. So Rob, as you can see over here, this is our Vicon laboratory. If you look up on the walls, there's a whole bunch of cameras. From this, we're able to give you more in-depth three-dimensional analysis of your movement patterns. Clinicians sometimes battle to diagnose someone with injury. We're able to provide hopefully an extra in-depth analysis that may assist in your rehabilitation.
Nick, this is great. We've seen all the high-tech things, we've seen all the 3D images, but what are some of the more basic things that we should consider when we go into the shoe shop to buy the right running shoe?
I think the most important of all is comfort, comfort, comfort. And from comfort, you can get down to specific things like finding the right size. So as we found out earlier, your dress shoe might not necessarily be your running shoe size. So always check that with your running shoe specialist or running shop. Don't be afraid to take your shoe for a run, be it in the shop, or if the shoe shop even allows you to take it outside. You know, be brave and give it a good feel. And lastly, don't be again thrown by fancy shoes with what they call motion control or stability. When in doubt, try a neutral shoe, because from there, a podiatrist or a physio is able to recommend possibly an orthotic or an intervention that may correct specific differences if you're experiencing injury.
Nick, thanks. That was a wealth of information that I received today from both yourself and Chris. And I guess the key point, again, to be stressed is comfort. So I'm glad I am now fully in the right shoes and looking forward to many miles in them. So thanks for all the help.
Thank you.